We have such a horrible, we have been treated so badly by other countries because we had stupid leadership that allowed this to happen. They took our businesses, they took our money, they took our jobs, they moved it to Mexico, they moved it to Canada, they moved a lot of it to China, and it's not sustainable. We're not going to do it. Now we have hundreds of billions of dollars is pouring into our country. On a monthly basis, it's pouring, it's already started because they put tariffs on. And eventually it's going to straighten out and our country will be solid and strong again.
Elon Musk has said he hopes for zero tariffs between the U.S. and Europe. Is that a place you'd like to also get to?
Well, the problem is that Europe has made a fortune with us. You know, Europe also has had a tremendous surplus with the United States. Europe has treated us, it's a little smaller, but they've treated us very, very badly. China has, but Europe has also. Europe has been very, very bad to us. Europe has taken our leaders for a ride. They don't take our cars. They don't take our food products. They don't take anything. And we take their cars, Mercedes, Volkswagen, BMW. You know, we take their millions of cars. They take no cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take anything. Europe's treated us very badly. We put a big tariff on Europe. They are coming to the table. They want to talk. But there's no talk unless they pay us a lot of money on a yearly basis. Number one for present, but also for past, because they've taken a lot of our wealth away, and we're not going to allow it to happen.
Sir, have you talked to any tech leaders over the weekend about the tariffs?
Yeah, I talked to the biggest in the world. I talked to the biggest of them all, many of them, but I've talked to, I would say 4 or 5 that are considered the biggest. They don't, you know what they said? We don't blame you.
Who did you talk to?
I don't want to say. I'll put it out. I may give it to you.
NVIDIA CEO?
I have to find out if they mind. You know, I don't know if that was a confidential call or not, but we had 5 or 6. I've spoken to many countries. They all want to do, just so you understand the power of what I'm doing. Every country is calling and being very solicitous of us. Very, very nice. They're being very nice. And we have to be able to justify. This is not sustainable. The United States can't lose $1.9 trillion on trade. We can't do that and also spend a lot of money on NATO in order to protect European nations. We cover them with military, then we lose money on trade. The whole thing is crazy. And I got elected on that basis. We explained it. You know, the American people understand it a lot better than the media. But the media understands it. And much of the media writes correctly about it, I must say.
Sir,
okay.
Sir, when are the next set of talks with Russia and who will participate? And where are we in terms of making progress in terms of peace?
We're talking to Russia. We'd like them to stop. I don't like the bombing. The bombing goes on. And every week thousands of young people are being killed. And it's a horrible thing that should have never started, would have never started if I were president, 100%.
On the tariffs, is it a negotiation now? Bloomberg, sir. Is it a negotiation or rules of the road?
Go ahead. Another question, please.
Sir,
about TikTok.
She asked too many questions.
Sir, about TikTok, there was a report that there was about to be a deal, but China changed its mind because of the tariffs.
I'd say it was largely true. The report is that we had a deal pretty much with TikTok. Not a deal, but pretty close. And then China changed the deal because of tariffs. If I gave a little cut in tariffs, they'd approve that deal in 15 minutes, which shows you the power of tariffs, right?
Mr. President, former New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu is saying that he'll win the open Senate seat in New Hampshire and that he has no doubt you'll support him if he runs. Is that true?
True. I told him. He came to my office, came to the Oval Office, and met with Chris Sununu, and I support him fully. I hope he runs. He's been very nice to me over the last year or so. But no, I hope he runs. I think he'll win that seat.
Sir, when we get into late summer, early fall, and people are doing their back-to-school shopping, do you think they'll have inflation to worry about at that point?
I think there's not going to be. I don't think inflation's going to be a big deal because if you look at me, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars. This is not new to me. I took in during my 4 years hundreds of billions of dollars from China. And we also took in a lot of money from other countries, but in particular China, because it was just getting started. And we had no inflation. who had inflation was Biden. Biden had the worst inflation in the history of our country. I had no inflation. We had a perfect country. We had no wars. I ended them all. I defeated ISIS. Everything was good. And then when this numbskull got in, as they really call themselves now, numbskulls, but when he got in, bad things happened to our country, including our open border. And now we're doing very well with, we have the best numbers on the border that we've ever had.
Speaking of the border, have you talked to Attorney General Pam Bondi recently about the cases going on with the deportations?
Yeah, sure. It's really sad when you think that Biden allowed millions of people to come in, and if they find one, now I will tell you, the one, somebody said he's a member of MS-13, not Tren de Aragua. He's a member of MS-13, and therefore he should immediately be brought back. Well, MS-13 is just as bad as Tren de Aragua. So they say, oh, we made a mistake because he's not with them, he's with MS-13. Bring him back, bring him back. MS-13 is a very bad group.
Sir, how concerned...
Maybe as bad, actually.
How concerned are you about the measles outbreak? There was another fatality today, and what else would you like to see in terms of the response?
Well, I think they're doing reports on it. It's so far a fairly small number of people relative to what we're talking about. It's something that people have known about for many, many years. I mean, measles has been, this is not something new. And we'll see what happens. But certainly, if it progresses, we'll have to take action, very strong action.
El Salvador's president said on X that he'd been invited to the White House on April 14th for a working visit to discuss Tren de Aragua and MS-13 and other ways we can support each other, the U.S. and El Salvador. I was curious if you could expand more on what some of these other ideas you have for El Salvador.
Well, I think, you're in the way of that camera, by the way. You should at least say that the camera operator should probably say that she's shooting the back of your head, I don't know why she doesn't say it. I have to say it instead. I have great respect for him. I know him. I've known him for a long time. He's a young leader, and he's very tough on crime. Very, very tough on crime. And in their system, their prison system, they spend a tiny fraction of the money that this country spends. So, but he is coming in, I don't know when, but he is coming in sometime over the next couple of weeks.
What are you and Prime Minister Netanyahu going to speak about tomorrow?
We're going to talk about trade, and we're going to talk about the obvious subject. You know what the obvious subject is?
Do you have any news for us on the obvious subject?
I'm trying to do trade just to keep it down. No, look, there's a lot of things going on with the Middle East right now that have to be silenced. We had no problem with the Middle East. Everything was done. We had no problem with Iran. We had no problem with anybody. And then you had October 7th. And that was all because Iran, as you know, was not giving money to anybody because they had no money. Now they have a lot of money. So we'll see what happens.
Go back to El Salvador. The president there said he would be willing to take American citizens in the federal prison population. Is that one of the ideas you're going to be discussing?
Well, I love that. If we could take some of our 20-time wise guys that push people into subways and that hit people over the back of the head and that purposely run people over in cars, if he would take them, I'd be honored to give them. I don't know what the law says on that, but I can't imagine the law would say anything different. If they can house these horrible criminals for a lot less money than it costs us, I'm all for it. But I'd only do according to the law. But I have suggested that, why should it stop just at people that cross the border illegally? We have some horrible criminals, American grown and born. And if we have somebody that bops an old woman over the head, if we have somebody that is in jail 20 times and goes back and shoots people all over the place and then has a bad judge or a bad prosecutor that do nothing about him, all they worry about is politics, they don't worry about that. I think if we could get El Salvador or somebody to take them, I'd be very happy with it, but I have to see what the law says. Okay, what else?
Can you say, did you agree to lowering tariffs for any of the countries that you spoke to today? So we
what you understand, Jennifer, you have to understand this. We have massive surplus countries that we're dealing with. We have massive deficits. We've got to straighten that out because you can't continue to be that way. It's been that way for years now, and it can't go on any longer. And we're the piggy bank. We have all the advantages Forget markets for a second. We have all the advantages. We'll get it straight out. We're going to become a wealthy nation again. Wealthy like never before. And we're not going to let other nations that have been ripping us off, whether it's China or the European Union, with all of the European nations that have just made, it's been like a feast. Look, the European Union was formed for one reason. You know what that was? To rip off the United States. So put that in your bonnet. I hope you had a good flight. Have a good time.
Thank you for your time, Mr. President.
Bye, guys.
Thank
See you
you.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. That was earlier, moments ago, on Air Force One. President Trump taking a lot of comments. I just want to go out live right now outside of the White House. We have now President Trump returning back to the White House. We just heard his comments on Air Force One, and of course, a lot to be talked about when it comes to the economy.
I know a lot of you guys didn't hear, but he told that woman up. He was so rude to her. He told her that was a stupid question when she asked, is there some point where you will pull back because of what's happening to the markets? And he looked at her and he said, that is a stupid question. And then he came back and said, she asked a lot of questions. That's what you guys missed, all right? I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just telling you guys what just happened, right? So he said, I'm not worried about the stock market, like pretty much just that. All right. So guys, I'm just telling you, it's going to be some pain to pay, more pain to pay. At some point, we're going to be pushed into a recession if this does not pull back. I'm just going to shoot it to you guys straight. This is not good. All right. As a matter of fact, the pre-markets are in the slammer already. Let me show you guys what's happening right now with stocks and crypto. Crypto started tanking earlier today. Let me pull up some windows for you guys so you guys could see, right? So look at this. Bitcoin is tanking. Bitcoin is down to 78 and it was lower earlier. So Bitcoin is down to 78. It lost 5% over the last 5 days. It lost 6% in the last 24 hours. Almost, it was down 7% in the last 24 hours. This is what's going on right now. The pre-markets, this is what you guys are going to wake up to, or worse, tomorrow morning. And I think it will probably be worse. The NASDAQ, let's see, in the pre-markets, look at this. Look at this. This is what you guys, this is what's going on right now in the pre-markets. Look at that. The Dow down 1,300 points in the pre-markets. You guys see that? It's it's not good. It's not good. And it's down this much this early, right? And so I'm showing you between that, crypto crashing, stocks crashing, even after a week that we just had. It is not good. And at some point, it's going to move past Senate Republicans, and all Republicans at some point is going to say, uncle. The question is will he listen? That's all I'm saying. Will he listen? Now, like I said, there's a better way. There's a more balanced way. Okay, so let's just take it off the table. All right, does this need to happen? We all can agree that the trade wars, America had the short end of the stick. That's not debatable. The question is he going about this the right way? The question is, were you about to retire and now you can't? Your 401ks are getting slaughtered, okay? Our crypto portfolios are getting slaughtered. Our stock portfolios are getting slaughtered. And again, it's because, and I'm just going to say this, no one person is a god. No one person is an island. And I just pray that he listens to counsel that's around him. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything. And yes, there's pain before gain. And but as you could see, literally going down even further. Look at that. Going down even further. Look at that. Just going down. And hey, it's here we go. -6%. So everything's going south, right? We're going to be in extreme fear. The VIX is going to be spiking. And yeah, he told that lady, put your bonnet on, put your bonnet around that. I mean, I don't care who you are, Democrat or Republican. He was extremely rude to this woman. All she did was ask a question. Okay. So I'm not going to, some people are just so, anyway, some people are just too much. I'm not going there. All I'm going to do is focus on what the market is telling me. Now, I will tell you that I'm not quick to move when it's falling this hard, even since we've been on now. Now, Bitcoin down by look at that, 6.2%, right? And the pre-markets keep dumping even further. So I can tell you right now, as defiant as he sounds, look at this. Look at that. Just heading south. As defiant as he sounds, I will just tell you that the pain will continue. There will be more pain. There will be more blood in the streets. And I'm sorry, that's all I got to do. All I have to for you guys is the truth. Have to deal with the heart. Yep. Kathy, we got to deal with it. I don't think I'm an independent. I have always told you guys I've been an independent, true independent, and I call out crap on both sides. And when you got somebody that don't call out that their guy is 100% always right, regardless, then you're bought and paid for. It's just what it is. Okay. All right. Wrong, Larry. Tariffs will even up the playing field. No, no one's Pam, no one is. I've said that 10 times more than you have. Pam, respectfully, you're not listening to me. I'm saying that the tariffs, that we need the playing field even. All right. The rest of the world has cheated us. I can guarantee you I know more about tariffs and econ than you do. This is what I do all day, Pam. Get out of your emotions. I'm telling you. We know this. Everybody here knows this. You must be new to the page. I've said, please leave a coffee cup if I said that 1,000,000 times. You guys are not listening, okay? Listen, good people. You too, Pam. I know this. I've been saying it last year. I knew this in the 80s, that we, America, had the wrong end of the deal. I know that it needs to be leveled out. The question is this the best way? Because you may not have feel the pain, you may not have a 401k, and you may not be a business owner, but if you're working, you work for a business. I just want you to get your emotions out. I know you rah, King Trump, but listen, there are ways to do things. That's all I'm saying. And there's ways to be realistic where the people don't get burned so bad, even while you're taking the ship and right-siding it up. That's all I'm saying, okay? Now, he has a cabinet around him, and people are experts in different areas. That's why it's a cabinet. And you're supposed to at least listen to your cabinet and not just be headstrong in one way, all right? That's all I'm saying, okay? Thank you. I know some people thinks that every single thing he does is right. And that's not right. Okay? Every single thing he did is not right. That's all I'm saying. All right? So I am not trashing on him, but every single thing he does is not right. And if he leads us into a recession, was it worth it? And if that recession lasts for 2 years like 2008 did, is that making the economy better? down the road. So all I'm saying is that he could have prepared us better than this, than coming out on the White House lawn on Wednesday. That's all I'm saying. There's a better way. Does it need to happen? Yes, but there's a better way. And I know I listen to both sides of the news, and I know they're saying, oh, he's the smartest person that ever walked the face of the earth. Everything's the best. Everything's the biggest. I get it. But can we be realistic and say, hey, here's a better way? Okay, that's all I'm saying. And there are some smart people around him that I know some of the people in his cabinet that are saying, we understand what you're doing and we're for righting the ship, but there's a better way. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Oh, since Hawaii. So listen, and I know you're going to hear, I want you to listen to my video today, or one from earlier, and I will tell you at some point, because a lot of you guys weren't in the market in 2008, at some point you're gonna run out of money. I could come here every day and press the button and say buy, 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 buy. And you buy, it goes down. 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 When there's no clarity from the White House, okay? When there's no united clarity, all right, from what's causing this. What is causing this? It's not the economy that's causing this. It's tariffs, tariffs, tariffs. So what I'm going to tell you guys is when you have someone like this and all of their decisions is whipsawing the market, it makes it almost impossible to have a solid plan, and you have to be ready to pivot. And that's what I'm going to tell you guys. You have to be ready to pivot. And we could go through all of this. Think about this, Pam. He could say this, right? Car manufacturers, 2 to 3 years to onshore, assembling the cars here in the U.S., which is going to cost you, tens of thousands more, 8 to 10,000, closer to $10,000 more per vehicle, right? 3 years. So let's say you're manufacturing a car, you're a car manufacturer, and you have thousands and thousands of employees, GM, Ford, Stellantis, right? Then you go through the 3-year process, and then you go through the billions of dollars it takes to do that. And then in a tweet, he says, okay, tariffs are off. You have just ruined your business. So get an understanding, good people. All right. So, and just because you voted for him doesn't mean that he's doing every single thing right. That's all. I'm trying to be very measured, and someone is going to listen to this, and then they're going to turn around and say, Larry, you're wrong. We need to, America has the short end of the stick. We know. I've been saying it more than you. And if you could say it better than me, you could, and you think I still don't understand, get your own YouTube page and you say it. But all I got for you is the truth. Now, I tell you, I've been praying on this today because something told me that something was going to come out this weekend. And you guys that's been with me for a while, there's always words over the weekend. And that's why here's a lesson. That's why people pull their money out in times like this on Fridays. That's part of the selling on Fridays. People pull their money out because they don't trust the market over the weekend. Okay? And so here's the reality of it. Tariffs. Who pays the tariffs? The people pays the tariffs, Pam. You're paying it. And you may not feel it now, but you will. And not only will you pay it, if you have any children, they're going to pay it. Okay? And like I said, and this is the truth, the people that generally, if you look across the world, the people that generally cause this kind of pain, they're never affected about it financially. And it didn't start with this sitting president. Every single president before, they don't feel the pain. They're protected. We're paying for everything that they have. And I'm just telling you that the people are the ones that pay it. So my heart breaks for the people that are getting ready to retire. That's what my heart breaks for. The people that are getting ready to retire, that worked hard. Pam, your neighbors, the people your loved ones that work on the assembly line, worked 42 years, 45 years, 35 years, and getting ready to retire. And now they can't because they're looking at their retirement and their 401k. So it's not that easy. All right. It's just not that easy, Pam. It's not that simple. Okay. So I'm just telling you with love, and for everybody that just keeps coming here, he's the greatest. He's the greatest. I mean, his poop don't stink. I get it. But everything this man is going to do is not going to be the right thing. And he needs to listen. Okay? He needs to listen to wise counsel. All right? So can we get these deals better? Yes, we can. And there's many ways to do it. Yep. Yes, I'm going to buy some granny stock. I'm right now there. You'll listen to one talking head and they'll say, hey, buy individual stocks. This is not the time to buy indices. Me, this is the time where I buy indices. Okay. And so I'm going to be looking at it, and Monday may not be the worst. But one of the things I can tell you from someone that made their first investment in 92, the market can only fall so far. And then what happens is that we just had good job numbers, right? Right behind good job numbers, we could have the fault. This is what happens. This is what happened in the recession. I want you to go back to 2008, turn off TV, turn off conservative news, and turn off Pam, I guess I eat nails for lunch. Now, Pam, I don't want anybody saying anything mean for Pam. No, you don't, Pam. Pam, I just want you to know that I do, and I apologize if anybody said anything negative towards you. Pam, I'm saying this in love because I want you to understand the fullness of the scope, okay? It's just more than just let him have his way, let him cook. That's all I'm saying. You're going to pay for it, and I'm paying for it, and all of these listeners are going to pay for the decisions that these billionaires and millionaires make. All right? That's all I'm saying, Pam. So I pray for you. I pray for everybody that voted for Trump. I pray for everybody that voted for Biden. All right? I do. I pray for you. Because in times like this is when the people need to come together. And I'm just telling you, regardless of if it was the left that did it, if it's the right that did it, this is the time when people simply need to be coming together. There are a lot of people that are extreme conservatives that are, this is going to hurt. I know some of them, that this is going to hurt. It's already hurting. They're watching their life savings just drip away. And yes, if they have time, all they have to do is hold. But everybody don't have time. Everybody don't have time. All right. So we love you. I need the prayers. Let's see people. Todd needs it. Yeah, the people. No, you can't. Keith, I understand you saying that, but you can't. You can't say that because the prior administration was horrible with this economy. And let me say this. The prior administration, it was endless printing of money, and the stock market that you saw, it was overinflated. As a matter of fact, some of this fall was because it was so high and the stock market was so expensive. So the prior administration did that. Deficit going crazy. We could have went into the Great Recession. All right. So just because I don't like the way this is being rolled out doesn't mean I'm for the other side. And that's okay with this channel, good people. That's what we got to realize, that we can't be buying into these parties. Okay? We can't. At the end of the day, because of the way I've been investing, I'm going to be okay. But most are not. I haven't changed my living style at all. But a lot of people, this is going to hurt. Inflation is going to rise. Jobs will be lost if there's no deals being done. If there's no deals being done. And then we will hit a recession. How at this rate, we will be in a recession by the end of the month. With the market falling this fast and this hard, it could only do so many days of 1 days of this. It could only do so many days of this, good people. All right? It can only do so many days of this. Now look, NASDAQ down 900 points. It was 700, then 800, and then 900, right? Look at that. That's insane. The NASDAQ is down another 5%. We're in the pre-markets. The S&P, look at that, 4%. The Dow's down 1,300 points. Crypto tanking right before us. Now down 7% today. This is just not good. I can't get on here and put on a happy face like this is like just as great just because he's the one that said it. I can't. I feel bad for Democrats and Republicans. I feel bad. I feel bad for the amount of money that's being lost. You know, I'm going to say this. It's not about Trump. It's not about Trump. It's about us. It's about us. It's about us. And I don't care who it is, I would call out what's wrong. Okay? So that's just, so I'm going to end by saying this, good people. America has the wrong end of the deal. We all agree on that. So for those of you that's still stuck on that, we agree. We got the shirt, we got the hat. We agree. Is there a better way to get there? Yes, there is a better way. And so many people have said it. But for those of you that are like, yeah, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. You ain't feeling it yet, but you will. And it ain't going to be next month. It's going to be soon. You will. Because a lot of people don't understand the full effect. It affects everything. It affects the groceries you buy, the cars you buy. It affects just about everything you do, the job you work at. So now, for those of you that just let them cook, let them cook, let them cook, you can be having a pink slip by Friday. Because if the people that hired you can't afford to pay you because they have to order this or that or this or that, it affects you. And all because of trade wars. It was tried in 1930 and it pushed us over into the Deep Depression. Because again, you and I pay for tariffs. Okay. All right, good people. We're going to keep watching. Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm coming here for the people, period. You can worship these politicians all you want to. I'm here for the people. All I have for you is the truth. Okay. All right, good people. He was on. You guys that are here new, you can turn around and you can watch this again, but it's tanking. It's tanking. It's still tanking. Look at that. Now down by 7%. And the pre-markets just keep going lower and lower. And this is the pre-markets. This is the pre-markets. Look at that. It's going to be ugly tomorrow. It's going to be ugly. And if he doesn't listen to anyone else, that's not good. All right, good people. I'll see you tomorrow. You know, here we go again. All right. I love you guys. Remember, people over politics. That's gonna be what I'm telling you guys. People over politics. And all of the hee hee ha ha, that's gonna go away when you start feeling the pain.